Welcome back. And after listening to the spokesman of the government and Barrows Diaspora Affairs Advisor, let's turn to the Senior Secretary or Head of Media and Communication for the opposition UDP, Mr. Tombong Saidy. Tombong used to be my boss at Radio GRTS, yes, indeed. And yeah, actually, when I was being fired by Yaya Jammeh, your friend, you were my boss. Welcome back. And yeah, like Barrow, you know, your party leader is also on tour. Let's start there. Give us an update on how the tour has gone, is going.
Yeah, the tour is going well. Actually, we were supposed to start this tour even before Barrow. But then when we got information that Barrow was going on tour, and since it's a constitutional requirement, we say, well, let's not go ahead of him because we might clash. And then after he departed, you know, we applied, but then the police said that because he has not completed his tour, so they wouldn't grant us the permit. But then afterward, we got the permit and went on the tour. And the tour has been very, very, very good. Right now, the party leader is in Jara, and the outcome has been so positive, it's unbelievable. Because, you know, Ousseynou has not gone on tour since 2021. This is his first tour since after the elections.
Oh, wow.
So it's been very, 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 very promising. And the welcome we had in all the regions, from Bara, Basse, I mean, it's just amazing.
And we're also hearing about defections from GDC and the NPP.
Yeah, major defections. And these are like big wigs within their parties in the provinces, like their chairpersons, their campaign managers, and a lot of the grassroots. Because, you know, people have been suffering since especially these last 2 years, because the cost of living has been going up, I mean, rapidly, you know, all over. And when you go to the market or to the supermarket or to the shop to buy something, it doesn't differentiate UDP from NPP. We are all suffering. And it's all because of the work of Barrow and his administration.
How is it his work? I mean, they could cite, you know, the global inflation, which...
No, global inflation is not an excuse. Global inflation, yeah, but you can take domestic measures to control cost within your country. I mean, people are doing it in other countries. So why can't they? Global inflation, but yet they are increasing government expenditures, unnecessary expenditures. If you look at the budget, the travel expenditure last year was about 300 million. This coming year, they've increased it to 500 million.
Yeah, because airfares are more expensive.
Yeah,
so
they should be cutting expenditures. They should be cutting expenditure. I mean, they have a budget, they have 300 million more to buy new cars. For what? I mean, they should freeze. I mean, there could be a moratorium of purchasing of vehicles for the next 2 years, and it will not affect the efficiency of government or operation of government at all. You know, they just bought 100 vehicles for the OIC. Where are those vehicles? They are all over the place, and these are 8-cylinder vehicles. I mean, why can't they allocate some of those vehicles to whoever they're going to buy vehicles for, or let them maintain the same vehicles they have and have a good maintenance policy? But on the average here in this country, government vehicles, after 2-3 years, they are all having problems. Mm-hmm. While for some of us in the private sector who use our own money to buy vehicle, you see a vehicle will last you 5-10 years, you know, without any major problem.
Yeah. People like us, you know.
So government should be cutting costs. Yes, cutting costs and also subsidizing where it needs to be, especially where the poor people are concerned, you know, especially the farmers, you know.
We were just talking about, you know, the price for groundnut this year, and you heard the government spokesman boast that the Gambia has the highest, you know, purchasing price, you know, of the entire region. So
that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything because if you look at the salaries of the sub-region, they are higher than those of the
That's true.
In this country. So that doesn't mean anything. The farmer, why was the farmer paid the same amount as last year when inflation is on the rise? So a cup of sugar last year is different. It's costing more this year compared to last year.
Yeah, some prices have been going up by the day.
So some are even doubling. Yeah. So you expect the person to receive the same amount of money, and now will get less service and products for the same amount of money. So it doesn't make sense. And then you are increasing, like governments, they are increasing the budget for the tour from 30 million to 50 million.
How do you feel about that?
No, it's crazy. I mean, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all when the Ministry of Education are struggling to get some few millions from them. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. You know, a government, if you want to know how serious a government is by looking at its budget. The budget will tell you where the government's emphasis are.
So where is this government's
but this government, all the emphasis are with the office of the president, traveling, buying of vehicles, on expenditures that would not bring any return in this country. Instead of putting it to the farmers to create jobs and, paying the teachers and others very well. I mean, on the average here, for example, maybe you don't know, you pay almost 45% of your income on tax.
45?
Yes,
oh, wow.
Because VAT is 15% and your income tax is 30%. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I mean, you will not even have enough left to save. So if you cannot save, you cannot invest. So you are just living from hand to mouth, So government should start looking at the poor people, the government drivers, what do you call it?
Well, some of them...
Sankare just left here.
Yeah.
His driver. Let him ask, I think he's listening, let him ask his driver how much he's earning.
Well, my understanding is some of them will have their salaries doubled, given the structure they have introduced for, the latest increase.
Some of them. How many of them?
Well, maybe this driver, if he was on 2005, maybe he will go to 5,000 now.
Yeah, but like the minimum, according to the budget, the minimum pay, that is grade 1, is I think 2,800. So
with the increases?
Yes.
They're still paying people less than 3,000?
Yes, 2,800.
Oh, wow.
So 2,800, what can you buy from that?
Well,
some of these police officers you see on the street, most of them receive less than 5,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So how can they survive? And now, on top of that, they're charging them to cross the ferry. It's just a joke. I mean, the budget should be people-centered budget.
But that's what they always tell us. That
no, it's not.
That their budgets are always people-centered. It's about the people.
It's not.
It's about poverty reduction.
It's not. Because what matters really is the income of the lowest person on the ladder, the cleaners in their offices, the drivers, the orderlies, the nurses in the hospitals. How much are they receiving? You drive past mile 2, you see the prison officers. They are asking for lift all the time. Begging for lift to go to Westfield or wherever. Or
maybe they're just used to begging for lift. Even if you paid them $1 million, they would still...
No, because their salary is not enough. Their salary is not enough. I mean, if they had enough salary, I mean, the Gambian, the lowest paid should be paid around 7,000 minimum per month.
But that would balloon our debt stock and the budget, and then probably the finance minister would go to the National Assembly with a budget proposal of in excess of 100 billion And then, you, the opposition, would say again, oh no, why would we, support this kind of budget?
No, you see, the problem is, it's not that we lack resources and funds. It's misappropriation of resources and funds. They are putting them in the wrong priority areas.
Like NAWEC?
I mean, NAWEC is another thing.
Is it a priority area?
NAWEC is a priority area, yeah. But what has government been doing about NAWEC and all the corruption going in there?
Yeah,
going on.
Or rather, what has NAWEC been doing about their situation?
Yeah. I mean, if at all, I think, if I am correct, more than 90% of electric consumers are paying cash power, which means they are paying in advance.
In advance?
Yes. So how come they are owing Senegal and car power all these millions? What is happening to the revenue they are collecting?
Yeah, but first question is, what about our capacity to generate?
Exactly.
I mean,
and by depending on Senegal and car power, our capacity to generate is deteriorating daily because they are not making enough any effort to buy new generators or maintenance the ones that are currently here.
Allegations are that the machines have all fallen silent at Kotu.
Yeah.
There's no noise coming out of Kotu. That's what you hear.
And it's not only NAWEC. I mean, and government, this Barrow government, they are experts in killing, government enterprises. Look at Gamtel. Gamtel is almost dead. They are killing GIA right now because they brought another, what do you call it?
Nero.
Yes, another
ground handling
company to compete with GIA, and they are killing GIA right now. And they will do the same thing with the ports. Sooner or later, they will sell the ports.
Sell? I thought we just went into a concessionary agreement.
Yes, let's go and see. The plan is to sell it, and they will sell Gamtel and Gamcel.
Osjobate has a question to answer here.
Yeah, they will. Because CD Keita, all he thinks about is selling. Yeah.
But he hasn't sold anything yet.
He will.
Senegambia Bridge is only recycled.
No, it's mortgaged. I mean, which was, and there was no need for it because it's creating enough revenue. All you need is to put an efficient management team there to manage the revenue and maintenance the bridge. You don't need to mortgage it. And the money that have been paid, where is it? Where have they used it for?
That is a fair question. The 100 million from the recycling.
It's not reflecting in the budget.
It's
not reflecting there as a revenue.
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah.
We will find out where that money has gone. It's a fair question.
Yeah. And I heard Mr. Sankara said that the president said he's the only first president to bring 200 buses in this country.
100 buses?
Yeah, 100 buses. And nobody is talking about it. But I mean, if the president said, okay, I'm the first person to create 200 jobs, or 200,000 jobs, or 100,000 jobs, then we will, we can celebrate it. But bringing buses that you borrowed and paying at an exhibition prices, using Social Security as guarantee, I mean...
This business of government using Social Security, I mean, where does your party stand on it?
And Social Security,
exactly.
And government needs to know that Social Security is not owned by government. It's owned by the pensioners and taxpayers.
Exactly. We are the contributors to Social Security.
Yeah. And if they bankrupt Social Security, if we retire... Well, I have retired, but...
I should claim retirement benefits.
Yes, yeah, I've claimed mine, so that at least mine is safe, But people will retire and they will not even be able to be paid their pensions because of the amount of money government is taking from Social Security, and it doesn't belong to them. And very soon, I mean, a lawsuit will be filed against the government for that because it's not their money. They shouldn't mess with that money.
Okay. All right. So obviously you don't like this budget. You don't like the 2025 budget.
No, there's no patriotic Gambian who likes this budget.
Oh no, I mean,
yes.
The people who came up with the budget, they like their budget.
I said there's no patriotic Gambians.
You're not suggesting they are not patriotic.
No, if you are patriotic, you will think of Gambia first and the people force,
Well,
and not the government and civil and higher government officials.
CD will tell you, CD Keita, the finance minister, that this budget, was careful thought went into it. I mean, we're thinking about the debt servicing and all of that. It could have been worse.
Since this, I mean, the debt services has ballooned. They are talking about is 110 million. It's far more than 110 million. They're not telling us the real.
You mean they're understating? Like,
oh yes,
like
Senegal,
like Pastef discovered when they came into office.
Exactly, they are understating the budget. I mean, how long have they been saying 110 million, and we are still taking loans from different partners, development partners, So it's far more than that, and you cannot boast on building structures based on loans, and then giving contracts that are highly inflated. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
Again, they would say, let him, produce evidence of that.
One evidence is the OIC fencing of the Kairaba Center. A fence of less than 2 kilometers, they spent 68 million to fence it, and they didn't even tender the job.
Maybe it is earthquake resistant. You don't know.
Earthquake resistant. we don't have earthquake in Gambia.
You never know. You never know.
No, before you build a fence that is earthquake resistant, build apartments and houses that are earthquake resistant, and not a fence.
Yeah, people complain about the price of accommodation. Rent is very expensive in this country.
Ahmad Bas said that the government is going to build, 5,000 homes. We are still waiting for them to kickstart it. I don't know when they're going to build it.
They're looking for the money.
No, I mean, they could have done this. They could have done this with TAF long time ago. It could have been done with TAF and Social Security long time ago.
Social Security, I can understand. How could they work with TAF, to provide, affordable housing? If we can just
because I mean, together as a team, TAF have worked with
the Nigerian government.
No, not only that.
Or regional government.
With
Shelter Afrique.
Shelter Afrique. Mm-hmm. They financed TAF before. Shelter Afrique have financed Social Security. Social Security is a shareholder in Shelter Afrique. So for them, the two of them together, with the track record of TAF, they can create, affordable housing all over this country. Just across Barra here, they can create affordable housing.
The other document the opposition seems to have a problem with is naturally the constitution of the proposed constitution of the Gambia, the one that is supposed to usher us into a third republic.
The constitution is dead.
No, it's only withdrawn.
It's dead.
So as to allow room for dialogue, according to the Standard newspaper.
No, it's just like when you are on life support, and they know that when they pull the plug, you are gone. So it's on life support. As soon as it enters the gates of the National Assembly, the life support will be pulled off. So it's a waste of time even taking it there.
Yeah, but how will that benefit the opposition? Then we go to 2026 with the 1997 Constitution.
We have been living with the 1997 Constitution since 1997, and we are still here standing.
So it's okay to continue with the 1997 Constitution?
Yeah, what's the problem? I mean, this Constitution is worse than the 1997 Constitution.
Ah.
Yes, so it will not make any difference.
Two-term limit, two-term limit is not important. 50 plus 1.
It's important, but all the other draconian laws are there. I mean, Barrows is just a whitewashed dictator. The only difference with
whitewashed dictator.
Yes, the only difference with Jammeh is the killing, but everything else is the same. Okay, we have freedom of. Here you are. You still cannot have your license.
No, I got it yesterday. By the way,
you got it yesterday. Finally.
Finally,
yes. How many radio stations have gotten their
finally it came yesterday. As soon as I finished my program, Jibril came and said, "Well, finally they just brought our license."
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, we hadn't officially been given one, but we were not prevented from working in any way. Nobody was interfering. That has to be said about them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we are allowed to operate in a manner we could only dream of under your former boss, Yaya Abdul Aziz Jamus, Junkung, Babili, Mansa, Sher Nasirul Deen, and what other titles?
and all those titles.
Yes. I mean, do you hear from him at all?
Yaya? No, I don't even hear. I don't hear from Yaya since even before he left. Even before 2016, we fell apart.
Yeah, but on a serious note, I mean, the UDP would prefer to go into 2026 with the 1997 constitution?
Yes. I mean,
rather than the one proposed by the Barrow cabinet?
Yes. I mean, the one proposed by the Barrow cabinet is worse than the 1997. So,
oh, wow.
What's the problem? We go with it, and then a simple majority, and he will lose the election. There's no doubt.
We heard those noises back in 2021.
Yeah, 2021, there was so much fraud with that election.
You had the opportunity to prove this in court, and you couldn't.
No. After they saw all the evidence in the Supreme Court, they find all kinds of loopholes to just kick it out. It was kicked on technicalities, you know. But they know, the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice and all the Supreme Court judges, they know. They didn't want this thing. One of their lawyers told them that, look, we cannot allow this thing to go to proceed, because if we proceed, a big can of worms will be open.
Oh, wow.
And they made sure that it didn't proceed. So,
and the party has just suffered 2 more setbacks: the suits against the advisors and the ambassadors.
Yeah, I mean those are for me. I never expected that we'll have victory because of the behavior of the Supreme Court.
Is it the behavior of the Supreme Court, or as I am reading in certain quarters, again, on the issue of technicalities, filing the wrong way and,
No, it's not that. I mean,
not appearing to defend, your case in the case of the advisors.
In one of their rulings, they said that there's no proof that APRC has been the ruling party in the Gambia since 1994. And yes.
APRC?
Yes, and they said that APRC is not a registered political party. So, after saying that, then everything else will fall apart, because it doesn't make sense.
So APRC has been illegal since 1990?
That's what the Chief Justice said and his judges. They said APRC is not a registered political party.
Well, Barrows should look at the alliance with APRC again.
No. If at all that is the case, then that means all the APRCs, all the MPs and councillors that won their election on the APRC ticket.
So why did your lawyers not use this, argument against the ruling?
No. When the ruling is given, I mean, after all arguments, so they just come with their rulings and their decisions. So you just read it, and when it goes to the Supreme Court, maybe the next thing is go to either West African Court, ECOWAS Court, or whatever. But as far as the Supreme Court is concerned, you cannot appeal them, because they stated that in their rulings that the APRC is not a registered political party.
Interesting.
So, if APRC is not a registered political party, then you cannot claim that Fatma Rajaumba is an executive member of the political party.
Oh, wow. Interesting. It's already 10 o'clock. What else would you like to discuss, Tombong, just in
just to inform people that the tour is coming close to the end, and Thursday...
That was quick. Barrow did, 3 weeks plus?
No, because the first phase is, all the way to Fonyi.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
This is phase 1.
And then from phase 2 will be like from here going and coming back, But for spending the nights in all those places will end Thursday. Thursday is the welcoming of the party leader.
How is your tour funded? Because we talk about the 50 millions, the 30 millions, the God knows how many millions that the taxpayers...
You see, UDP is unlike most political parties. UDP
we know, you're yellow and the others have other
UDP
colors.
supporters, they buy their own T-shirts. they fund their own vehicles and activities. So the funding comes from contribution from members, from the diaspora, locally. You know, every member of UDP, we contribute monthly. Executive members contribute monthly. Our MPs, our councillors, our grassroots, they all contribute monthly to support the party.
And those are the monies.
Yeah, and those are the money we use for the tour. And our tour did not cost 30 million. It cannot, because it's our own money, so we are spending it wisely.
I was going to say, even if it did cost 30 million, I can't complain. You know, another taxpayer
because
can't
our
complain.
own money. Yeah. You know, so the party leader is coming on Thursday. So we are urging all supporters and sympathizers to go to Abuko from 4 o'clock onwards to accompanying him to his residence at Pipeline.
Fantastic. Tombong, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Peter.
That's Tombong Saidy. He's head of media and communication for the United Democrat UDP. He brings today's edition of Coffee Time to an end. Thank you very much for the pleasure of your company. We will be back tomorrow at 8 o'clock with another edition. This one will be a much shorter edition. And later on, of course, everything will be uploaded to YouTube.